And what we're doing here with Daisy and the crowd fund, we've created a referral program that you get paid for recommendation. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong. So I'd like to share that for those who would like to understand how our referral program works. It's very, very rewarding. We use a piece of software, and you mightn't have heard of it before. It's called a matrix. Very simple piece of software. It opens up 3 locations on the first generation of your matrix. And let's say you did refer 3 people to the Daisy crowd. These 3 people would normally be placed on the first generation of your matrix, 1, 2, and 3. And you're entitled to 4% of their contribution. Okay? Now, if you have more people to recommend, let's say you had 4, 5, 6, 7 people, they can't go in the 3 position because they're taken up. The additional members that you share this with will spill over under the first 3, and they will form the second generation of your matrix. And that applies all 10 generations. So it's a 3 by 10 matrix. So once the first 3 are gone, that's prime real estate. That's beachfront property. Nobody else can get in there. If you're next, you go on to the next level. If you're next, you go on to the next. So the sooner you make a decision, you know, the better the positioning you get for yourself. Now you're entitled to 4% on the contributions of all the contributions on packs 1 to 7. You're entitled to 2% on packs 8 to 10. And you don't even have to introduce anybody to get those commissions. Imagine you didn't tell anybody, and by chance your upline or your active upline placed these sales into your matrix. You don't even know who they are, and you're still getting paid. So that's what the rectangular box means, ladies and gentlemen. Even without referring anybody, there is potential to get what we call spillover from the sales or from the team above you. So that's very, very, very simple. Now, you're also entitled to all commissions in all 10 generations for the first 48 hours of your contract. So once you get started, in the first 48 hours, you're entitled to all the commissions. But after 48 hours, it changes. It says, now, come on, you expect to make all this money and you're doing nothing? You're getting equity in the company, you're getting trading rewards, we've given you the first 2 generations for free. Guys, if you want more money, please help us develop the community. Let's help develop the crowd. So the software will look for 3 introductions with 1,000 contribution in total from 3 or more people, and then that opens up the 3rd generation of commissions. You get 3% on the 27 contributions. You can get 3% on the 81, 3% on the 243. The whole, what I call the belly, the middle of your business, you're getting 3% on every contribution if you qualify. And then when it gets down to generation 9 and 10, there's what, 60, 70, 80,000. 80,000 people make a contribution, you get 4% on every one of them. And if they're the higher ones, you get 2%. So you can see here that the company's paying out 34% from the marketing side of every dollar that comes in as a contribution. That's very, very honorable. If you want to get paid on generation 10, you need to bring 24 to the community with a total contribution of $128,000. Quite simple to understand. Now, if we hypothetically just use the $100 matrix, let's assume or suggest hypothetically that we all started at $100, no more. Well, the potential would be $344,000. Why? Because you're getting these commissions on these contributions at $100, and you'd make yourself a very cool $344,000. Not bad. But in the real world, it doesn't work like that. And what do I mean by that? I mean that if you take out an Excel spreadsheet, these numbers are correct. But that's an Excel spreadsheet. If I take out a calculator, these numbers are correct. But in the real world, it doesn't happen like that, because some people will introduce 3, some people will introduce 20, some people will introduce nobody. And then you're going to get other people that will introduce maybe possibly an internet marketer. They could bring in 20,000 people to your team. So it really is dependent on your effort, on your skills, on the time you put into the business. But hypothetically, it is possible to fill this and get 344,000 if you build it strategically. Now, what if in your case 50% of this worked out? How bad would you feel with $170,000? Bearing in mind you only made a $100 contribution. How do you feel if you got 10% of this to work for you in your case? 10% of 344,000, it's 34,000. 34,000, that's probably close on the average wage in your country, 34,000 a year. So for a very part-time basis, if you did 10% of these numbers, you could make yourself a very cool 34,000. How much did you contribute? You contributed $100. What did you get for that? You got paid trading awards, you got paid equity, and you get paid if you help develop the crowd. Does that make sense? Now, of course, you might like to upgrade to higher contributions, like I've just calculated tiers 1 to 7 as an example. Again, that's a very cool $43 million. If you upgrade all of these clients, if they all upgraded to the 100, the 200, all the way to tiers 7, you'd make yourself a cool 43 million. What if you worked with this team and migrated them step by step all the way up to tiers 8, 9, and 10? You see, you can use your profits. You can use this, you know, if you only fill this down 5 levels, tiers 1 to 7, you make $92,000. So that allows you to upgrade to the higher tiers yourself. You can actually use your profits to upgrade. But hypothetically saying, imagine the same community upgraded to all 10 tiers, you'd make $198 million. Again, it is hypothetical because we just don't know who's going to do what. We don't know, is everybody going to bring 3? If everybody effectively brought 3 to the party, well, then this is technically possible. Again, if you do 10% of this, you'd make 19 million. If you did 1% of my example, you'd make 1.9 million. How bad would that sound to you? Would that be a good enough reason to say, yes, get me started? When does it start? What you need to be doing is you need to be getting that wallet. You need to be getting prepared. You need to be gathering up your Tron. You need to be deciding which tier you're going to contribute at, and you need to be working towards developing that. Now, I've calculated tiers 1, 2, and 3, the 100, the 2, and the 4. If you fill just those first 3 matrices, the possibility here, total possibility, is 2.4 million. Again, if you do 10% of that, it's $250,000.